And now, it's time for Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's talk hookup. For the next 2 hours, join Pete Gray, Rock Cod Rick Maxa, Corey Sandin, and this week's special expert guest for fishing information, new techniques to catch more fish, and the most current scoop on what's happening in the water. Let's Talk Hookup is sponsored in part by Ford, the official truck of Let's Talk Hookup, and Shimano Rods and Reels. Fish with the best. Shimano. Get ready for the fastest 2 hours on radio with the hosts of Let's Talk Hookup, Pete Gray, Rock Cod Rick Maxa, and Corey Sandin.
Good morning, anglers, and welcome to Let's Talk Hookup. I'm Pete Gray with Rock Cod Rick Maxa. We're in the world headquarters of Let's Talk Hookup here, right next to the San Diego Landings in Point Loma, and we have great guests here for you this morning. From Queen Charlotte Safaris in beautiful Sandspit, British Columbia, we have Valerie Hoperich and Captain Rob. Going to be a great time here on Let's Talk Hookup, talking about one of the most beautiful places on earth. You stay tuned. This is Southern California Sport Fishing Voice. It's Let's Talk Hookup on the Let's Talk Hookup app and the Mightier 1090 ESPN Radio. Inside information is everything when it comes to catching fish in Southern California. You need a code group to connect with what's happening on the water. FishDope.com is your code group. Inside information available at your fingertips 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. FishDope.com really does help you catch more fish and burn less fuel. FishDope.com is the only fish finding service with a spotter plane, along with a crew of top anglers on the water almost every day that report actual locations and catches. They become your code group. You get daily catch reports from Point Conception to San Catine, 365 days a year. FishDope.com has online planning tools, temperature and chlorophyll charts, hot bite icons, and more. Take it from me, if you don't have FishDope.com, you're not part of the in-the-know crowd. Membership is affordable and good for an entire year. Plus, use the special code to save $20 on a new FishDope.com membership. Check it out today. FishDope.com. Catch more fish, burn less fuel.
Saturday, November 4th, it's Tackle Day at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego, and it's our largest sale ever. Plenty of seminars by saltwater experts, over 20 reps from tackle manufacturers like Shimano. Come check out the new Shimano Talica A, the pinnacle of lever drag 2-speed reels. The Talica features Shimano's Hagani body to prevent misalignment of moving parts under the heaviest loads. When throwing jigs, the Shimano Trinidad is your top choice. For the best ever tackle bargains, check out Tackle Day at Fisherman's Landing, Saturday, November 4th.
In San Diego, the future belongs to everyone. So Ford engineered the truck of the future for everyone, the Ford F-150, available with a Pro Power onboard generator. What a great addition for anglers. There's also a variety of cab configurations for whatever you need to haul. The truck of the future isn't created for just a few. It's created for us who love the ocean and the outdoor life. Ford F-150. Test drive one at your local San Diego County Ford dealer today. They'll be glad to hook you up.
Let's Talk Hookup, man. What a fun show today's going to be today. And I can't believe you got Valerie and Rob at the, still in season, still fishing. This is going to be a fun one today, man.
Yeah. Good morning, Valerie.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Hi, guys.
Yeah.
Happy to be here.
Yeah, and good morning, Rob.
Morning, guys. How you doing?
Great. Now, Valerie, of course, is in the world headquarters here in San Diego. And Rob, where are you?
I'm up in Palo River, British Columbia, just waiting for the sun to rise.
All right.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah, sounds great. So, Valerie, season's finished. You guys had a phenomenal season. Any highlights for us about Queen Charlotte Safaris this year?
Lots of highlights.
I'll bet.
I'm not sure where to start.
Yeah.
Rob and I were reminiscing yesterday about we had a lot of really awesome fish caught, but not just that, just the dynamics of the people that came up and the groups, and I think we're gonna hit it all. I don't know where you want to start.
Yeah,
it was an amazing season, and your group. We got to talk about your group.
Yeah,
that was special.
It was a fun group.
That's
that was
fun.
a fun group.
Yeah,
yes.
for sure. And the fishing was amazing.
Fishing was amazing.
I mean,
what was your highlight?
My highlight up there?
Yeah.
Oh, was the lingcod fishing. That always is
yeah.
like, and we had such a good time. We had beautiful weather. We only had a little bit of wind one afternoon, but the whole place is just so stunningly gorgeous to see. You saw a lot of wildlife and bears, deer, and
A lot of whale this year.
A lot of whales, and it was it's just a real special place. It's pretty cool. And the quality of the king salmon up there is always what amazes me. Other places that typical, they get a 20-pounder. It's like, that's a really good one. And up there it's like, oh yeah, well, it's almost a throwback. But
wow.
We'll wait for a 30-pounder, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a sensational place. And then the food and the lodge and your care. I mean, we talked about this. You give such a personal touch to everybody there. Your smile, your staff, everything about it is just. You just get taken care of. Only 24 people in the lodge, and it's like going to your own home. Right?
Well, that's what we do, though, and it's all about making memories together.
Yeah.
And you're part of the family. I mean, 5 days, it's like people say, well, what is that like? It's like maybe having Thanksgiving dinner every day for 5 days. You know what I mean? It's special. And all the memories. And this year particularly, I saw a lot of different groups come together. And I'm going to talk about your group for just a second. We had half couples. We had a lot of couples. And these couples reached out to me and said, hey, would you share so-and-so's name? And da-da-da-da, because they all want to take some trips out of Point Loma together, so tuna trips. And so that was really cool. And then we had our first ever all couples group, and they didn't all come together. These are people I
just
put
happened
together.
that way.
The whole lodge was couples.
Wow.
And it was over the 4th of July weekend. So that was really
fun.
It was fun. And we had our first, we put 3 families together. And so we had a lodge full of ages 12 to 32 plus the grandparents and parents. And 16 of them were from North Carolina.
Wow.
Which was so cool.
Yeah, you get visitors from all over the country. All over the
California,
world.
Of course, is
Southern California especially.
Southern California especially. But all over everywhere.
Yeah.
And we had, I think Rob, one of his last guests, we had one of his guests was from New York City, and the other one was from, Hawaii.
Wow.
So one spectrum of the West Coast.
All the way across.
Toronto, we've been all over the place.
Yeah. Rob, what was your highlights this season?
Oh, there was a few. There was a couple of really epic days where we absolutely just, people were sweating. We were catching so many fish. But,
that's cool.
Yeah, I will. Well, there was one fish that was kind of special this season. We caught a Chinook that was had a form of leucism, which is a pigmentation loss of the color in the skin. So the fish was definitely a Chinook, about 8 pounds. But it was completely yellow on the top and white on the bottom, and it was the most beautiful fish I've ever seen in my life. And we'll have that mounted. It'll be up in the lodge, so you guys can come see it.
If you want to see it now, I just posted it on our Instagram. Let's Talk Hookup Fishing. Let's Talk Hookup Fishing. That's our it's our new Instagram account. If you haven't, what do you do on Instagram?
Follow.
You follow on Instagram. I have to get all that lingo down. If you want to follow us on Let's Talk Hookup Fishing, that's our new Instagram because our old one got hacked, and we told you that story.
Yeah,
there's a picture up there of that.
It's so cool looking.
It's just the most cool looking fish, just bizarre.
You would associate it with an albino. It's not. Rob filled all of us in, because of the pigmentation in the eye, like a true albino, or an albino would be red, and this one isn't, and it looks so. I mean, dude, this thing is so cool looking.
Yeah, it's like from another planet.
What Rob was going through your mind when that thing comes up to color and you go to put the net in? Like, what am I looking at right now?
Well, I thought it was like there's a certain disease that you see on the southwest coast a little bit, and it's sort of a jaundice type thing. And I was like, oh, it's one of those jaundice fish. I'm like, oh, and so I netted it, just take it out of the food chain, and then I'm like looking, going, huh.
Yeah.
This is not that. This is something special. Like, this is the spirit fish here.
Totally.
And from the rarity of it, it kind of is, man. It was like it's something you'll never see again. So, maybe you will, but it was very. I couldn't even smile in the pictures that I took of it because it was I was in shock so much.
Yeah, and it's not. Research is not an albino. It's leucistic. Yeah,
it's really cool.
Well, and you know what else is cool is the gentleman that caught that. He's from Calgary, BC, and he has fished probably 15 plus years with us.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, and he brings a corporate group every year. Great
That's
guy.
cool.
So
Yeah.
it couldn't happen to a nicer person.
So, Rob,
Yeah.
what do you think is so special about Queen Charlotte and the Haida Gwaii area as far as fishing and just the visitation of it?
I mean, when you're coming there, you're not coming to any place where you're going to see cruise ships or commercial fisheries or boats with 30 or 40 people on them. You know, it's a very low-pressure fishery. At times, we're out there by ourselves on the West Coast. Like, you know, the next stop is Japan or Russia, and we are there alone, especially on the days when we have a low tide and our jet boats get out there first thing in the morning. And, you know, the rest of the fleet kind of shows up at about noon. And, you know, you're there alone, and you've got this complete amazing fishery to yourself. And, yeah, it's something that really needs to be experienced by everyone. It's quite a special experience, all I can say.
Even when the tide's normal and all the boats from Sandspit or Queen Charlotte come out, it's still not that crowded, right?
No, you'd be hard pressed to find 20 boats out there on a daily. I mean, regular days you may be a dozen boats there, but on a super busy day maybe 20. And it's amazing how. And I mean, you can always just go somewhere and have nobody around you as well.
Yeah.
So
that's the amazing thing is given the right weather conditions, you can go 10 miles north, south, and just be all by yourself in just a totally different zone, right?
Yeah, you got the whole place to yourself.
You'd mentioned that if the tide was just right, then other people would be out there. I always think that's such a cool part of Queen Charlotte and how the equipment that you guys run is so specific for your area and gives you such a leg up, to anybody else that's fishing in the same waters that you guys are. Maybe you could give us a rundown on that.
Yeah, our 440 horse diesel jet boats are just amazing. I mean, they for one, they get you there in record time. And
fast,
the equipment,
like 40 miles an hour, right?
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. We can cruise at 35. And when we get a good tide going through and a little bit of wind, you're cruising at 40 miles an hour. So it's quite comfortable, especially too because our whole ride in and out is protected. So you're not getting pounded on the way out, which is like most places where your ride to the fishing grounds is through water that you need to navigate. But ours is really, really calm. You're pretty much flat calm once you get around the first corner, and it's a nice adventure. Most of the time, everybody's sleeping on the way in and out.
Yeah,
that's great.
Not me. I love seeing the scenery.
Pretty.
Are you kidding me? I don't want to miss any of that. I mean, you see bears and eagles and deer.
I usually wake everybody up when we get to the close. I'll wake everybody up when I get to the close port where we're getting into the bears and pretty good chance of seeing them. Or if we see them, I yell it and everybody wakes up really fast.
That's funny.
And what's really cool too is when you're going through the Narrows, it's a thrill ride. I mean, especially when the tide's racing and it's low, it's like, wow, this is cool.
Yeah. And we like to kick it up a notch coming through there.
Yeah, it's quite amazing. So what types of fish do you catch at Queen Charlotte, Valerie?
Oh, you're going to put
all
me
the
on
species
the
of
spot.
salmon are available.
I know. I'm not a
season.
guide, but I know enough to be dangerous.
Yeah,
Of course.
Our
biggest, I think, claim to fame, which is my favorite fish, is, of course, the Chinook, the king salmon.
Yeah.
And what makes it so unique is this is a transitory fishery, so they're migrating through. So we have U.S. and Canadian fish coming through the islands all summer. A lot of places, they might have I've never fished Alaska, but north of us, even some south of us, and Rob living south could give you a little more on that. But we have Chinook all summer. Like we open up in May, we're catching Chinook. We close the end of August, 1st of September, catching Chinook. So we don't have so that makes us totally unique, and they're transitory, they're not terminal, meaning they're feeding, gorging themselves. The meat, the fight, the beauty, the color, they're pristine. It's my favorite fish.
Yeah.
But
they're in their prime.
They're in their prime.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And catching them, you're not snagging them.
Hard fighters.
They're hard fighters. Yeah. Even a 20-pounder will give you a fight. These are hardy fish, and
They are.
And you're not kidding. I was going to say, you just hear it in Valerie's inflection, like you're talking about a 20-pounder, like it is a small, like even a 20-pounder pull, like that's a big deal.
Big thing, yeah.
Totally.
Well, especially for people that have only caught trout or bass or something like that, you put them on one of our Chinook. They're in for a fight.
That's so cool.
They're in for a fight. And the coho, I like coho fish. Those are silvers.
We had some the other night, but it was so good.
I mean, it's a toss-up. I mean, it's kind of a toss-up as far as flavor, but as far as I don't know. I think the Chinook is the most pristine, one of the most pristine fishes.
Well, that's
in the
one
world,
that people want to target. Yeah,
they're just beautiful. They're majestic, and of course your favorite lingcod.
Yeah.
And I have never fished for lingcod here in California, but everyone that has says the lingcod fishing up there is.
Well, it's awesome. Just the quality. I mean, you pull one up.
Look what they're eating. It's location.
You pull one up, and you're like, that's an okay one. It's like it would be a giant here, right?
Make a newspaper.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's not always about size. I'm just saying it's the quality because, like Rob said, we're untouched. We don't have that commercial traffic going through our fishery at all. And now we weren't picking on cruise ships. We love tourism and cruise ships, but they just don't happen.
You do. I don't.
Oh well.
I'm not saying that. You don't have to be nice. You don't have to be nice for our sake. I don't like them either.
I've only been on 2 in my life, so. But we don't have that. You think about. Like the lower mainland and even going north, I mean, there's so much going on in the water. Where these fish, they can just come through.
Yeah,
they're
eat all day.
Eating. They don't have a big disturbance. And then rockfish, same thing. There's so many different species. This year, for some reason, you don't keep these, of course, but we had a couple of guides bring in the ratfish, and we're like, what is that? Yeah. I've seen them.
Nasty.
But one of our guys, John Mark, took a really
appropriately named
picture of the ratfish. I'm like, what? And of course, halibut is
halibut too. Yeah, beautiful halibut. So, Rob, what was it like fishing with the one and only Corey Sandin? Huh?
I love Corey.
Yeah,
Corey was great. Corey actually showed me a few new things, which was kind of cool. His baits are awesome. That's all I can say.
Yeah. They work, right?
The MC swim baits, I added them to the bottom of these jigs that we use, which we call our meat rigs, which are our go-to. And, man, it kicked it up a notch. And then but it was pretty funny because Corey fishes very intensely. Like, he is a fisherman. That's all I can say. And and when it got to the point where we actually went to salmon, I had to, take him a couple times and put my hands on his shoulders and say, okay, Corey, it's not a tuna, it's not a bass, it's a salmon. You got to finesse her in a little bit. You can't just haul her in like you're trying to tow in a boat here. And I said, enjoy that fish, Corey, enjoy that fish. And by the third one, he did it, and he was like, wow, it is a bit different. I like it.
That's cool, Rob.
Yeah, and were you using knuckle busters?
Yeah, we definitely were. That's the go-to standard.
Cool, yeah. That's you almost have to finesse on that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like fly fishing for salmon.
Right.
The other thing, Rob, that I know you love about Corey is not only does he enjoy the fishing and so intense with it, but there's nobody that respects and enjoys the bounty of fish that they bring home more than Corey too.
Absolutely.
Treats it very proper, and I know you guys. He had mentioned that you guys do such a good job with the fish care and the fish, handling and and everything else. That it's always nice to know that when you put all your hard work into getting them caught for people, that they treat it with that kind of level of respect. And Corey's I know a really important thing to him.
Yeah, no, he was great. He was right on, bleeding out the fish right away, and didn't even give me a chance to get at it. I'm like, oh, I like this guy. He can come anytime he wants.
Good guy to have on the boat, that's for sure.
Oh, the best.
Yeah, and we want to throw a big get well to Valerie, who fished with you also.
Yes.
She's been a little ill, and so get well to Valerie. Yeah.
Feel better, Val.
Yeah. For sure. Hey, as you can hear, we have a great show lined up for you today. Lots to talk about here on Let's Talk Hookup.
And so much to cover, boy, having both Rob and Valerie in here this morning. There's going to be lots of great info, lots of great information, everything you wanted to know about Queen Charlotte Safari. We're going to talk about it today. Give us a call this morning if you want to join us. Our phone number is 213-432-1090. One more time, 213-432-1090. That's how you reach us on the phones. Or shoot us a text. The text the show show option, so popular here on Let's Talk Hookup now. The only way to send in your text message questions is through the Let's Talk Hookup app. It's a free download on your phone. You can also listen to past and archive shows. You can call through the app. It's a lot of fun. You can listen live. You can listen later, whatever you want. It's a great app to have, and it's the only way that you can text in your questions to the show. And man, should you. And when you do text, make sure that you include your contact information, because if you're the winner of the day's big prize, we want to make sure to get it for you. Well, today we're giving away a really, really cool prize for one lucky caller or texter, and that's going to be determined by a coin flip at the end of the show. So we're going to take all the potential callers, all the potential texters. We'll pick one potential winner from each call and flip a coin, and that person is getting, how about this, a $300 gift certificate to CostaSunglasses.com. You're going to get basically a pair of sunglasses. You'll likely have credit left over if you want to pick a shirt or other Costa items. All of that's courtesy of our friends at Costa Sunglasses. What a cool prize that is. And again, make sure you include that contact information. Give us a call, 213-432-1090, or shoot us a text. And when we come back, we got a lot of Let's Talk Hookup coming your way. You stay tuned. You're listening to Southern California's sport fishing voice. That's Let's Talk Hookup on the Mightier 1090 ESPN Radio.
Here's John Ireland for Rancho Leonero.
You know, the ranch is unique. It's one of the few places in the world where you can still drive ATVs up the beach. We have fishing from the beach. We have dive trips that we run to Pomo in a number of different spots. Kayaking, of course, has been real big. We were one of the first hotels to introduce kayaking. The ranch is small, you know, it's intimate. It's 34 rooms, so everyone gets to know everyone. The old saying, where everyone knows your name. Well, truly at Rancho Leonero, the employees do know pretty darn near all our guests' names. And what's even more interesting is most of the guests know each other's names. Very personal, very intimate, and a special, special environment. 2 miles of beachfront, mile on either side of the hotel. Rancho Leonero is really the last of the old-style Baja fishing resorts. 1-800-646-2252. 1-800-646-BAJA. And RanchoLeonero.com. I'll personally guarantee your best fishing experience and vacation at Rancho Leonero.
Your vacation bucket list can't be completed without visiting the Katmai Lodge, Alaska this summer. A world-class wilderness fishing paradise on the banks of the famed Alagnak River. Get in the action, fishing for all 5 species of Pacific salmon, king, sockeye, chum, coho, plus trophy-sized rainbow trout, Arctic grayling and Dolly Varden, both in the Alagnak and nearby waters. Katmai Lodge's Coast Guard and CPR certified guides are fly fishing fanatics and know how to help you reel them in, ensuring your days are fish-filled while you enjoy freshly prepared snacks and barbecued lunches on the river. Back at the lodge, enjoy fireside appetizers and refreshments each afternoon. Delicious dinner prepared by the lodge's exceptional chef. Take a quick fly-out trip to Brooks Falls in Katmai National Park for world-renowned bear watching. And check out our trout fishing specials at katmai.com. That's KATMAI.com. Katmai.com.
When you plan your next tuna trip, be sure to select the right boat. And in San Diego, that's the Tomahawk. The Tomahawk is captained and owned by 20-year veteran Dave Ibrahim. Dave is highly skilled and will put you on the fish. The newly refurbished Tomahawk is the perfect platform to target bluefin tuna. Large deck space, oversized galley, comfortable bunk room, tons of bait capacity, and a massive refrigerated fish hold are just some of the reasons why. So next time you plan your fishing adventure, plan to fish the Tomahawk at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego. You'll be stoked you did.
Lobster season is here. It's time to gear up with the best in the business. Promar, based in SoCal. Promar knows lobster and makes everything you need to catch these tasty critters. The Promar guys are hardcore lobster fishermen and have designed the most successful hoop nets and accessories on the market, including the Ambush Series hoop net line, the original hoop net designed for SoCal lobster hooping. Visit Promar on Facebook or on the web at promarahi.com.
Get ready for the largest event in our history. Saturday, November 4th, it's Tackle Day at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego. We'll have great savings from Daiwa on Lexa, Saltist, Saltiga, and the new Tanacom 1200. A fantastic offer on the Proteus rod and SK jigs, too. Over 20 manufacturers reps, including Daiwa, plenty of seminars by saltwater experts, huge raffle, and most of all, incredible deals on tackle. Up to 60% off. Tackle Day at Fisherman's Landing, Saturday, November 4th.
Hookup!
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. Having a great time here this morning. Again, if you want to join us on the phones, it's 213-432-1090, or you can send us a text to Let's Talk Hookup app.
Yeah, have a chance to win a pair of Costa sunglasses. And Rob, I have two questions for you as a Canadian. It's like, why do you use single action reels or knuckle busters?
All right, here's how I say it. So you've got a Ferrari of a rod, okay? So these Okuma carbon rods are just beautiful. They're amazing. Or a Shimano Technium, either or. Now, do you want to put an automatic transmission in your Ferrari, or do you want to put a standard in there?
Oh, it's standard.
Okay. Or here's the other version. Do you want to try and trophy hunt with a rifle or a bow and arrow? Because once you get that trophy with your bow and arrow, you've leveled up in that game. And it's kind of like the same with the fishing. So it's kind of like trying to salmon fish with a fly rod. And it's not easy. It's not the most simple thing to do. You can't just winch it in. And so you become part of the game. You become an extra extension of that rod and reel. And you need to actually play that fish. So it becomes like, I don't know. When you first get one in and it's a decent sized fish, you're like, wow, I've just completed something now, and I'm kind of like a little bit leveled up in my salmon game. So it's very entertaining. It's very.
How long are the rods?
10-foot 6-inch.
10-foot 6-inch rods. Yeah, they're long. Yeah. So there's definitely some angling that's going on, and it is called sport fishing. So yeah. Mm-hmm. So okay, I got to try them next year. Yeah, for sure. So
you didn't try them, Pete?
No, I didn't try them.
Don't worry, we gave him the same grief you did.
We told Nathan, put the regular conventional stuff on there. We're old, especially Harold. We're kind of set in our ways. I am too. But we'll try them next year. I promise. Hey, second question I have is, why do Canadians call king salmon or Chinook salmon springs?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Good question.
It's always been in the spring when you start catching them, and I'm probably wrong on this. I have never actually looked this up, but they've always just been a spring to me. It was all, you start catching them in the spring, so it was like, hey, here's the spring salmons. And then you have the winter spring, so I don't know. I'm going to look that up while we're talking.
Okay.
I like the winter springs.
Well, while you're looking that up, let's head south down to Rancho Leonero and talk to our good buddy John Ireland. Buenos dias, John.
Hi, John.
Good morning, Pete. Good morning, guys. Hey, gang. Well, it's been a decent week of fishing. It's warm down here. It warmed up this past week. The highs are in the mid to high 90s, and so we're enjoying the weather. But it's also the water is warmed up as well. Water's 90, 91 degrees right in front.
Jeez.
That's about as warm as it gets, guys. It should start cooling off any time. The Dorado bite, by the way, all the fishing's very, very close. The Dorado bite's been right in front of the hotel, and the good news is Dorado bite's kind of waned a little bit, but the yellowfin bite's really, really picked up, and they're close as well. They're right off the La Ribera bank. They're off those drop-offs, and we're catching nice. The average fish is 15 to 20 pounds, and the larger ones are in the 40-pound range. And we're also, the good news this past week is we're finally getting some sardine. We're getting good bait, and that's making a big difference as well. A lot of Dorados still in front, not quite as many, but they're bigger fish. We're catching, I'd say the average fish right now is about 15 pounds, and we're getting some nice bulls, in the 40-pound range, something like that. But again, right in front, and then the yellowfin are also off the banks right in front as well. And mixed with some nice sailfish, a lot of sailfish right now out there. Not many striped marlin, but we're getting a lot of sails. Same areas right off the La Ribera banks. It's been really, really productive out there, very, very close. We got some big amberjack as well this past week. We had some in the 60-pound range, 2 or 3. And again, right off those La Ribera banks, that's producing really productive out there. And we're also picking up lots of pompanos off the bottom, some big pargo as well. Fishing's good. It's kind of transitioning now from all Dorado to more tuna, and the bottom fishing's really picked up. Fishing's still real good, you guys. We're looking forward to a good October.
That's great news. For sure. And, of course, we have our 29th annual Rich Top Palmas de Cortez tournament coming up this Thursday. And good news that the fishing's good. But there is a tropical disturbance down south, and it is turning into a hurricane. Do we need to worry about that, John?
Well, I wish I had that kind of a crystal ball, Pete. You never know with them. This one's starting further outside. The ones that I really keep my eye on are the ones that just start to form right along the coast and kind of bump along the coast of the mainland. What really hurts us, of course, if they get into the Sea of Cortez, their water being 90, 91 degrees really bumps them up. So that's our big fear. But because this one's forming more outside, as long as they go outside and stay in the Pacific and head northwest, we're in good shape. And it looks like that's how this one's forming. So if I were to make a prediction, I'd say it's going to go outside if it does form up at all. So
that's what all the tracks are showing right now, is that it's even from yesterday to today, it's showing it more going northwest. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, keep heading west.
Out there. Keep going out there. But anyway, we have some great time left for literally the last 2 months of Rancho Leonero starting today, because it is October 1st.
Crazy.
You close December 1st. Still spots available, John?
Yeah, Pete. Yeah, we have room available. We look forward to everybody coming down and visiting us. It's looming, it's starting to. I'm starting to realize
it's near.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna miss the place. That's for sure.
We all are, for sure. Well, how do we get a hold of you? We want to come down one last time.
Yeah.
Thanks, Pedro. No, I got a couple more months of shows anyway. 800-646-2252 or rancholeonero.com.
All right. Thanks, John. We'll talk to you next Sunday.
See you, John.
For sure. We'll see you down here, Pete.
Yeah, I'll see you on Thursday. Yeah, we'll see you down there with our group for sure. Yeah, we have a great group. Looking forward to it. We have, I think, 57 people in our tournament. Rich Top, we have $1,000 cash from the Top family for the Big Fish Rich game fish. The largest game fish gets $1,000 cash handed out by the Top family, and another $1,000 split among different levels. From Dave at Statewide Stripes.
Cool.
Yeah, so Dave at Statewide Stripes donated a bunch of money. We have Fisherman's Landing Tackle gift certificates, Costa gift certificates, and, of course, a trip back to Palmas de Cortez, too, for the winter, too. So lots of good people coming down. It's going to be a fun time.
I always say, that's a lot of money and a lot of prizes for a pretty steep entry fee of $0.
$0.
It costs nothing to be in the tournament.
Yeah.
It's really fun.
And a fun group of people, too. It's always a good time. So we're hoping that storm keeps tracking west. It's going west. Because we're looking forward to getting down to the East Cape and beautiful Palmas, and of course, we're going to pay a visit to Rancho Leonero. There's no doubt about that.
Well, we looked at the storm all day yesterday with Captain Tim, who is like a next-level weather expert, and then also hearing John, and the consensus from everyone is, you got to keep an eye on it, but no, you're good.
Yeah, we're good.
I think we're all good for an awesome tournament.
Yeah, for sure. All right, hey, phones are packed up. They want to talk to Valerie and Rob. Let's do it.
That sounds good to me. How about this time we jump into the phones and talk to Matt? He's calling us from La Mesa this morning. Matt, thanks for getting us started on the phones.
Hey, good morning, guys. Hey, Ricky, congratulations on your second son, soon to be here. You guys are establishing yourself a nice little 4-pack. Question to everybody there, because I know you and Pete have been up to Alaska. When's the best time for lingcod and yelloweye fishing? Because I've always been fascinated by the size of both of those species.
Rob, what do you think?
Well, lingcod, yelloweye are always there. It doesn't really matter what time for size and species, but yelloweye are still protected on the West Coast right now. Hoping this year they're going to open up. They should have opened up last year, but we'll see what happens.
Mm-hmm. You think that's going to happen, Rob? There's talk about that, huh?
I fill out my paperwork, and if you don't avoid them, you're going to run into 30, 40 of them a day. So I don't see why DFO has the complete West Coast shut down when up in where we are in Region 2, they're prolific. So it'll be nice when they do open them up. But there is no time frame when those fish are available or more prolific. It's just they're there. The best time to come is the very beginning of the season, obviously, because there's been no ground pressure or no fishing pressure on them all season long, so all winter long. So
I must say that we were there mid-season in the beginning of August, and the lingcod and rockfish fishing was off the charts. I mean, it was just, it's ridiculous how good it is.
And you've traveled all over, Alaska and BC and things, and you've said time after time again, this is the best lingcod fishing you've ever seen anywhere, no comparison.
It's and big fish. That's the thing, right, Rob? I mean, the quality of the fish that you catch there, because it's so pristine, these things get to grow up, right?
Yeah, no, they're definitely size large, is what I would say, and awesome quality too. It's some of the best lingcod and rockfish I've ever ate in my life.
Delicious.
And back to the spring salmon thing. Spring salmon are Chinooks, and the reason why they are called spring salmon, and this I should remember, is because they're some of the first ones to return to the river to spawn. Some of them actually return to the river to spawn from March till May. So that's the reason they're called springs.
Okay, that's the reason
Early.
it's called springs. Okay, good. The other thing about the lingcod fishing is the limits in Canada versus in Alaska, it's very limited narrow slot limit. You can keep any size lingcod you want in Canada, right, Rob?
65 centimeters, which is a little over 2 feet and over. So your minimum is a 2-footer, right? 2-footer and a bit.
Yeah.
So, anything doesn't matter. And,
I've never even seen anybody measure because all of them are over that, right?
Yeah, exactly. And then the limit is 3 a day, 6 for your bag limit.
How are you guys catching most of them, Rob? Is it jigging? Is it bait? Is the tackle kind of light, kind of heavy? Kind of give us a rundown for guys that haven't had a chance to go fishing with you.
All the guides have their own little way they like to do it, but for the most part, it's jigging, and we'll just surface around a pinnacle and find a nice drift, and then drift over it, and then if we don't get anything on that first 30 seconds, we'll pick up and we'll move to the next pinnacle, and we'll do it again.
So you give it a real long time, huh?
Yeah, it's a really long wait between bites usually, and a lot of times it's like everybody, okay, I get everybody drop, and boom, everybody's on. So we've got 4 fish, 5 fish coming in at once, and it's kind of entertaining when I've got to run around and start spiking all these fish in the head and pulling them overboard.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and it could be a big halibut. It could be a big rockfish.
Sure, right?
There's a lot
you never know what you're going to bring up from down there.
Yeah, and it's not deep either. You're fishing 100, 150, 200 feet is nice. Deep, right, Rob?
Yeah, I don't even like to put us in over 100 feet usually for lingcod. That's you try and do it as shallow as possible so that it's quicker to get them up and not so much of a pain in the butt to bring in that fish. But the halibut at times, if you want to guarantee you want to go a little deeper and stay away from different types of fish too, you got to kind of target the species, right? And I'll try and put you guys in places where I know we're going to see those kind of fish that we want to get at that point in time.
Yeah. Well, hey, we have a text, and you can text us on the Let's Talk Hookup app. John in Rancho San Diego says, great show today. Good to hear Queen Charlotte Safaris. When targeting Pacific halibut in British Columbia, what setup and bait do you use, and what are the size requirements for keeper halibut up there these days? And
keeper halibut there is no size on the small end, but it's 2 fish under 90 centimeters, 3 feet, or 1 fish from 3 feet to this year was just over 4 feet. Last year was almost 5 feet, and it just changes every year, the max size. But that's your sizes for that. And we use, personally, I use jigs, sometimes with a little bait on them. But, it's mostly jigs. We can use spreader bars, too, and do that way. But it seems to be you get a better, more hookups with with using the jigs. And then you're running into lingcod and everything, too, right? So there's a little bit of bycatch. So whenever we're lingcod fishing, I like to save a couple at the end of our adventures for lingcod in case we run into some big ones with the halibut that we're trying to target.
Yeah, for sure. Well, and it's fun, too. I mean, you can catch big ones, too. You have to let them go, but just like you do in Alaska. But you catch a lot of big ones, too. And on the jig, that's really fun.
Oh, the best.
Yeah.
Oh, it's unreal. Our one guide, Royce, there, he pulled in one day 4 overs, and they were all from 5 feet, and one was up to 7 feet long. So that's a 350-pound fish.
Yeah.
Crazy.
A lot of big fish, for sure.
How fun. Well, hey, I had another great text come through. It said, questions for Valerie. Always interesting hearing you talk about Queen Charlotte Safaris on the show. Could you please tell us about the lodge's origin and how you became involved with the organization? That's from Norman, San Diego.
That's a good question.
Oh, boy. We don't have long enough.
Yeah.
Sorry. We were just talking about that last night. I'm going to, you know what, to make it short, it just, I went from insurance to fishing, and how I went to insurance to fishing is a particular person I worked for in the insurance business. So I'm going to have to put that on the website and send out a story. But I think that I was meant to be in the fishing world, not the insurance world. And if you would have asked me that 23 years ago, I would have said, no way I would be giving up my insurance career to go north to another country, but here I am.
Yeah.
And it's really about passion and passion for people.
For sure.
And I love where we're at. It's such a special place, and it's what I do. But I'm going to have to write that story.
Yeah,
you do.
I do.
But
I need a writer.
So describe the lodge. I mean, because that's I think what people need to understand is it's
it
right
was
on
built from love.
Yeah,
it was
right
built
on,
from love.
right on Shingle Bay, and
yes,
it's just beautiful spot.
So when you land into Sandspit, and Sandspit actually can land a 727 aircraft.
Wow.
Yeah. So. That's not, you don't fly in on a 727.
What is it like? Well, you pick us up in your new bus. You have the magic bus now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Rob he's a jack of all trades. He's also the bus driver.
The bus driver, yeah. And it's a whopping, 10-minute ride from the airport?
10 minutes, yes. Yeah. So you actually fly in on a Q400 aircraft, and like a 78-seater. But you can land jets.
And it's a scheduled Air Canada flight.
Yep.
And from Vancouver.
You get the cute little bus.
And that's I might add too that flight from Vancouver to Sandspit is included in your package from Queen Charlotte.
Yep. So we do all inclusive from Vancouver with airfare in. And once you land, we're there to pick you up, and you get to have the van and the shuttle bus, and you get 10 minutes right along the water. We go around the spit, as we say, and go down to the lodge. And I love our location because we're close to the airport, and the marina is there.
You walk to the marina.
You can walk to the marina. We still shuttle for people that want to.
Yeah.
Day one, so no one gets lost.
Yeah.
We take them down. And it's just very easy. And the ferry landing, and we do have one small little superstore. In fact, Rob and I were just talking about this yesterday. Rob should tell the listeners about how young you were and how you ended up in Haida Gwaii. And we both share the same passion of why we love being there.
Yeah, it was actually I was 12, I think, when I went there with my family on a family vacation for just to basically check out the islands. And we spent a month there, and my first halibut I ever caught was off of the top of Graham Island, which is the island above where we are, and went right up to the spit, or the Rose Point, sorry. Threw a chunk of salmon head over and caught 2 halibut off the rocks, which was, kind of blew my mind that you could just have these monster fish off the rocks up here. I just knew it was such a wild, special place that I had to come back. And, ended up back there. And seems to be my gig, I think.
That's cool.
Yeah, you kind of like it there, huh?
Well,
yeah, I kind of like it.
A leap of faith. That's, things happen for a reason in your life, and here I am.
How many years have you worked with Rob, Valerie?
This is we're going on our 3rd season.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And how long have you had the lodge?
Going on 24 years.
24 years.
Wow.
Yeah. Going 24 years doing trade shows. I'm like, I just aged myself.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Hey, when we come back, we got a lot more Let's Talk Hookup coming your way, including checking in with the catch report. We're going to find out what's biting up and down the beach and a whole lot more. You stay tuned. It's Let's Talk Hookup on the Mightier 1090 ESPN Radio.
If you're into saltwater fishing, listen to this. Saturday, November 4th, it's Tackle Day at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego. Hi, this is Doug Kern. We are pulling out all all the stops on this one. Over 20 manufacturers reps like Shimano and Power Pro. Check it out. All the Shimano and Power Pro product we have, like the new Talica 12 and 16A series. Backed by popular demand, the Shimano Tranks Casting Contest. Cast a Shimano Tranks 500 and Shimano Terramar 90H rod and show your surface iron casting skill. You'll see Shimano Terramar is the perfect rod to handle tough fish. The secret is TC4 blank construction. Match your Shimano Terramar rod with the Shimano Tranks 500 reel. Shimano's X-Ship and HEG technologies in the Shimano Tranks combine to provide massive cranking power with a smooth and effortless retrieve. It's our biggest sale of the year, Tackle Day at Fisherman's Landing. Unbelievable pricing on tackle, clothing, and accessories. Saturday, November 4th.
Rock Cod Rick here to tell you about Parker Boats and the guys at West Coast Marine. By now, you all know my boat partner and I bought a new 25 Parker center console from crew at West Coast Marine in Costa Mesa. We've known for a long time that a Parker was the boat for us. It's a stout workhorse of a boat built to last and get you home when the seas get rough. Parker Boats at the launch ramp, the offshore tuna grounds. You wake up in the morning on an overnight trip and there they are. Parker Boats of all sizes, fishing in the same areas as the sporties. There's a good reason for it, fishability and seaworthiness. West Coast Marine has several new Parkers in stock and ready for delivery, and they have more on the way. Don't get caught without a reliable boat when fishing is this good. Take it from me, if you're ready for a new Parker at a fair, upfront, and honest deal, you need to see West Coast Marine. Check out the inventory and information at westcoastmarine.com.
All of us at the American Angler family want to express appreciation to our regular passengers that fish with us year after year, and to the new anglers that came out this last season. We realize how precious your vacation time is, and we are truly grateful that you have chosen to spend this time with us. It's important that your experience is memorable, from the moment you call the office to the time you step off the boat. Hi, I'm Lori. Call me at the office, 619-223-5414, or check us out at AmericanAnglerSportFishing.com. Come fishing with the American Angler family and make a memory.
Safe travel should always include travel insurance. This is Bob Dawson at Dawson & Associates. We offer many different plans, from one-year plans to single-trip plans. Traveling twice or more a year, an annual plan will cover most every trip that you make. Also, if you get injured on a trip, it'll fly you back home or fly you to a hospital of your choice, and it's worldwide coverage once you're 100 miles from home. So call me at 619-990-3068 or go to safariglobaltravel.com.
That was so much better.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. Having a great time here this morning. Again, it's been a busy morning on the phones. If you want to get through and join us, 213-432-1090, or again, send us a text on that Let's Talk Hookup app. We're not only talking Queen Charlotte's and all this great fishing going on, both local and up above, but also giving away such a great prize. Again, if you didn't get to the beginning of the show, one lucky caller or texter is getting themselves a brand new pair of Costa sunglasses.
Yeah, so text or call. Give us a call. 213-432-1090.
All right, with that said, it's time to find out what's biting. As promised, it's time for our catch report. Hey, have you filled up lately? Then you know gas prices have gone way up. So now more than ever, you need Summit Gasoline at the San Diego Sports Arena. Pull up to their brand new expanded Summit Gasoline and get the low gas prices and diesel prices for your car, truck, or your boat. They now can accommodate 24 cars and trucks to fuel at the same time, plus 12 diesel pumps. The bistro is full of all the great things that you need for a day on the water. Plus, you get 100 pounds of free ice with a 35-gallon fill-up. Stop by, say hi to Martha and their friendly staff at Summit Gasoline. Free ice for Let's Talk Hookup listeners, and always low prices. They're right at the San Diego Sports Arena, that Summit Gasoline. Hey, let's find out what's going on. We're going to start off our catch report at Dana Wharf Sport Fishing. Talk to the man, Captain Brian Woolley's on the line. What's up, Woolley?
Hey, good morning, everybody. How's everyone this morning?
Good morning.
Great
to hear from you.
Amazing fishing, huh?
It's been fun, but man, I got to tell you, I love my rockfish and link cod. That sounds amazing.
Dude, you should go to this place.
Woolley, you would be all over it.
That sounds so much fun. Wow. Good stuff. But hey, it's been pretty good here, too. I know Ricky and I shared some text messages this last week, but what a great opportunity, we've had here relatively close. Along the coast here, our water temps, like in the mid to high 60s, and, and the half-day scene has been, as you'd imagine, kind of commensurate with that water temp. So some fly line bass on the days that we have a little bit of current, and some sunshine. But the best setups have been the guys fishing like a sliding egg sinker type deal. Carolina rig has been pretty effective for those guys targeting that bass mid-water. Some nice sheephead and some whitefish, occasional halibut with those guys, letting those rigs sink out a little further down to the bottom. Obviously, the rockfish we're catching in the shore is all going back over the side right now. But, the half-day scene's been pretty good, but what's been keeping us super busy, as we were just talking there, is this 3/4 day and all-day trip. We've been fishing offshore and taking advantage of this mixed tuna that's been relatively close. We've had legit shots at both this bluefin and yellowfin every day this week. It's been sonar spots, bird schools, dolphin. That's, how we've been getting the boat stopped. Fly line baits on 25 to 30 pound has been the most productive way of our guys getting bites. This tuna has been great grade with this yellowfin in the 20 to 35 pound range, and this bluefin's been all over the place from like 25 to 70 pounds. We've had very legit shots at this fish, and it's been close. It's been within 25 miles of our harbor, so it's been very good for both our 3/4 day and all day runs. I will say that fishing a circle hook, we've noticed this week, the guys fishing the circle hook, we're getting the fish to the boat a little bit better than those guys with the J hooks for whatever reason. And we can't stress the importance enough of having a good monofilament leader connected to your braid. We see a lot of guys fishing braid now, and they're just fishing like a fluorocarbon, a 2 or 3 foot section of fluorocarbon. There's zero stretch in that. You have to have that stretch leader, that monofilament between your braid and your fluorocarbon, especially with these bluefin. When that fish hangs, that color, and the boat's rocking around, you need to have that flex and that stretch with that monofilament.
Don't put all that work. I was gonna say, don't put all that work and effort into getting that bite and hooking your big fish just to have the hook come out because you didn't have a little bit of stretch in your game.
Exactly, like how it is. You get that bluefin of color, and the boat's rocking. You've been engaged in battle for 25 minutes or whatever, and it's just a bummer to see your fish and then watch it swim away. So
especially those small hooks that pull a lot easier than having a big meaty hook.
That's so true.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And that's.
Go ahead, Will.
I was just going to say, and that's just kind of re-stressing the importance of that circle hook. Getting that fish where it's hooked properly. You're not going to get chewed off, and you just have the whole program is just in your benefit to have those couple components lined up properly.
We've been talking about it a lot lately, how those small hooks get bit so well, those small circle hooks, and there is no doubt that there's an advantage to getting the bite, but the disadvantage comes with they pull easier, and so you need to do all the things that you can put in your favor to combat that, and maybe fishing a rod's little that's got a little give to it, and especially having a little bit of mono in there and have some give. You just can't. It can't be all things. You can't have a tiny hook. You can't have a super stiff rod. You can't pull crazy hard and expect for the hook pulls to not happen.
Yeah,
absolutely. No, it's key, and you know how it goes. You tell guys sometimes it falls on deaf ears, and you see them lose fish, and you're just like, bro, we tried to help you right out of the gate. But, of course, it's their day off and their ticket, and they can do what they want. But, we try to help them out.
You can lead a horse to water, as the old thing says, right? Yeah.
Exactly.
It was sure fun fishing in the War Heroes tournament. There was one time in the afternoon that we were trading a dolphin school with some fun, and you'd watch those guys run up and slide baits into them. And I mean, the grade of yellowfin tuna that is right in front of Dana War Sport Fishing, dude, it's spectacular.
Yeah.
It's like a 30-pound average. And watching multiple fish get hooked, and those guys did such a good job, and it was really fun. We had fish as close as 10 miles from where the Dana boats tie to the dock,
that's cool.
and great fishing within 20 miles. It's just really fun to watch, Willie, and it's cool to see you guys taking such great advantage of it.
Yeah, well, we've been stoked. We haven't had these huge 100-fish hits or anything, but for us, this is just a different flavor to add to our game. So we're stoked about it, and it's getting us out, and we're getting the boat stopped, and we're catching fish. So that's what it's all about. So you guys want to hop on a trip, definitely still, even midweek, you want to make your reservations. Our number here, 949-496-5794. Of course, you can hit us on the web. You can link us there through the Let's Talk Hookup webpage, or you can just hit us up directly at danawharf.com.
All right, Willie, always a great job, great report, variety of fishing going on. We love the fall. Appreciate a great report as always, buddy. We'll talk to you next week.
All right, guys, thanks for that. We'll see you.
Thanks, Willie.
All right, thanks, Willie. Hey, let's jump into those phones. They're packed up. 213-432-1090. One line open. You want to get through.
John in Escondido's up next on Let's Talk Hookup. Good morning, John.
Hey, good morning, gentlemen. Great show as always. And Valerie, it was really nice to meet you last year at the Bart Hall show in Long Beach. And my wife Cindy and I, you plugged us right into the Let's Talk Hookup. You could have put us anywhere, but you plugged us right into the Let's Talk Hookup trip in August. And my wife and I, that's all we talk about. We can't wait to go up there. Now, she's kind of a novice fisherman. She loves being out of the water and things like that. And so Rob and stuff, can you help her when it comes to the fishing part? Yeah, she's left-handed.
Oh, yeah, definitely. No worries at all. We'll take care of her.
Yeah, aren't those knuckle busters left-handed reels,
You
right?
can go either or.
Either or, yeah.
Yeah. Well, it was a pleasure meeting you, too, and we can't wait to have you come up. And we are anglers. That's the other thing about what we do. We get from people like Pete that fish everywhere, and we get people that have never fished before. And a lot of people, men and women, that have never caught salmon, like never, ever, because they fish down here or they've gone down to Baja, and
or maybe never caught a lingcod or a halibut or a rockfish.
Nothing. West Coast, North Pacific, and so Rob, all the guides are very patient. They'll teach, and I always say in orientation, it's about communication. And it's teamwork on the boat. And Cindy, you will be just fine, I promise. And you will catch fish, and you will have a wonderful time.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Very lady friendly.
Yeah, it is. I mean, because the lodge is run by a lady. It's definitely a lady's touch, and so you kind of help that along.
Yeah,
for
and
sure.
we're getting more and more especially both Bart's show, Bill's show. People come up and sometimes the ladies are just kind of listening, and I'm like, do you like to fish? And they're like, well, I don't really know how to. I'm like, you need to come on up. So there's no pressure.
Totally.
Like, you don't have to be embarrassed or worried that you're going to lose a fish.
No.
There's plenty of fish.
Yeah. And I might add, too, that our first trip to Queen Charlotte in early August has been sold out for a long time.
3 through 7.
2 spots just opened up, right?
Maybe.
Yeah, but we think we have 2 spots open.
On that first trip.
And then there's 2 spots on Corey's trip, which is back-to-back from our trip. 7 to 11.
Yes.
So if you're interested in going with us, I'm going on the first trip along with Harold Davis. Corey's hosting the second trip.
Yes.
And I'm sure, Rob, you'll be there both trips, right?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. So what's it like having the ladies on the boat? I mean, novice anglers on the boat. How has that changed things?
All right, boys. Guess what? I'm going to tell you this right now. The ladies are the best listeners. They listen, you teach them, and they get it. And it's amazing. My favorite part of all of it is when someone catches their first Chinook. The smile on their face and the exhilaration when that fish hits the deck is something else that actually makes me smile. I mean, it really makes my season every time that happens. And, I haven't had one person ever that hasn't been able to get their fish in. Every once in a while there's a little bit of a struggle to get the first one, but they always get their fish, and they really enjoy it. And once you actually get that that center pin reel, what you like to call the knuckle buster, and bring it in and do it all on your own, it's really a special thing.
And the accommodations for the ladies it's not just in the lodge, it's the boats as well, right? The heated cabins and very comfortable, and there's ample seating and
flushing marine toilets.
Yeah.
Yep. It's all lady friendly.
Totally.
And the other cool thing about her boats is they have these spongy seats, or what are they called? The suspension seats.
Yep.
Oh man, makes the ride so comfortable.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, they're a really nice feature. I mean, I think everybody comments on them, and just the fact that you're not, cemented to the floor is a nice thing when you're going out. I mean, it's not always, it's a flat calm ride through the channel, but you're on the West Coast, so expect a little bit of waves.
That's awesome.
It can happen.
Appreciate it, John, very much.
Thank
I can't
you,
wait
John.
to hear about you and Cindy's trip. Hey, that's going to wrap up our catch report while we're waiting for the surf guru. Hey, the summertime is winding down. Now is the best time to get to the beach. Crowd starts to lessen and the fishing intensifies. For all your surf fishing tackle needs, check out surffishtackle.com. Again, surffishtackle.com for additional tips, techniques, and articles on surf fishing. You can also check out fishthesurf.com. Hey, when we come back, we got another full hour of Let's Talk Hookup coming your way. You stay tuned. It's Let's Talk Hookup on the Mightier 1090 ESPN Radio.
Are you passionate about fishing and the great outdoors, but not quite sure where to go? Look no further than Queen Charlotte Safaris in pristine British Columbia, Canada. Hello, this is Valerie Hoperich. There's so many reasons to join us on your next fishing adventure. A few of the highlights are fishing in protected, calm waters. Very important. Quality Chinook salmon run all season long. After you've caught your salmon, we're going to go out for the great Pacific halibut, lingcod, rockfish, and Dungeness crab. Our beautiful lodge overlooks Shingle Bay and Sandspit, and it's so easy to get to. Fly from almost any airport into Vancouver and then on to Sandspit. Fish processing, your fishing license, your gear, all included. Just bring that fishing arm and that smile. Let our chef pamper you with amazing meals while our staff gives you wonderful hospitality, all included in your Queen Charlotte Safaris package. Give me a call on our toll-free number, 1-877-815-2892, or go to our website, qcsafaris.com.
Saturday, November 4th is Tackle Day at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego. Seminars by saltwater experts, great deals on tackle, top tackle reps like AFTCO Psycho Pro Fluorocarbon, and incredible deals on AFTCO clothing. Tackle Day at Fisherman's Landing, Saturday, November 4th.
If it was possible to improve near perfection in a lever drag saltwater reel, Shimano is the company that can do it. Introducing the all-new Telica 12A and 16A 2-speed lever drag reel. These new Telica reels raise the bar of Shimano's flagship reel again with ultra-smooth reeling and powerful drag performance to conquer long battles with trophy game fish. The addition of Shimano's innovative Infinity Drive technology leverages its new drag design to increase drag force to produce up to 30% lighter rotation during tough battles. The new generation of Telica now features X-Protect technology to boast high-level water resistance in vital areas. These new Shimano reels feature a Hagen-E body made of highly rigid aluminum to reduce the reel's overall weight. The palming side plate is an additional 6% smaller than the previous generation. Push the limits. Shimano's all-new Telica 12A and 16A reel. Available at your local Shimano dealer.
This is Pete, and I hear it all the time. That Jim and Mary at Poway Valley Collision are amazing. I took my car to Poway Valley Collision, mentioned Let's Talk Hookup, and they gave us VIP treatment, fixed our car, and even gave us a special price. Believe me when I say Poway Valley Collision is worth the drive from anywhere in the Southland. At some point, your car will need a body repair, and I'm confident in saying it pays to go to Poway Valley Collision. Our listeners can save hundreds of dollars on your next car or truck repair. They work with most insurance companies, including Auto Club, MetLife, Wawanesa, and more. All you do is call Jim, Mary, or any of their team members, and they do all the rest. No hassles, just top-notch work and VIP treatment. When you take your car or truck to Poway Valley Collision, the job and experience will be top-notch. Get it fixed right at Poway Valley Collision, 14211 Garden Road in Poway. Check PowayValleyCollision.com.